Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly, and today by request I'm going to come back and do, now I've got makeup all over this box. I'm going to come back and do, sorry it's upside down, I'm going to do 3 more looks with the Martine palette. This is the 669 palette, and I picked it up off of Beauty Bay, and I did a look with it already. And I got a request. So thank you guys. You know, I appreciate it when you guys come back and say, hey, we want to see this, because that gives me direction to go to. So this is the palette. The case is beautiful. It's like this velvet with the red foiled lettering on it and these little metal trim details. Kind of looks like a old Gothic box. It's a thicker palette. I've done a look with the green row already. So let's do a look with each of these other 2 rows and just see what we can come up with. I'm not normally somebody who does, you know, too many eyeshadows on a single look. There's 6 in each row, 3 rows. There's 18 total shades. It's maybe a little bit more of an expensive palette, but I think it's an indie brand. European, German, I think is what she is. And it's not one that I have ever seen in the US. My husband had to go do some errands and running around, and he brought me a coffee. So yay, yeah for husbands. Okay, that's exactly what I needed. All right, so we're gonna play with some of the shades in the middle row here. So we've got a deep burgundy, we've got a kind of a slate colored gray, we've got something that looks a little bit more satiny, kind of a, I want to say a brownish, yeah, it's like a brownish burgundy kind of satiny color. One that looks more like a charcoal shimmer. We've got a teal color, and we've got like this really dark, I'm almost gonna call it, it's almost a black, but it has shimmer and sparkle in it. A little bit different in formula than the other 2. Curious to see what we can come up with here. Okay, so I'm just gonna, basically I'm gonna take this gray. This is such a dark, moody palette that you have to be prepared to do a smoky eye, in my opinion. And these are mostly cool tones, as you can tell by looking at the palette. And while I'm a kind of light medium complexion, brown eyes, brown hair, I forget about cool tones sometimes because I wear so many warmer shades just normally. Like normal every day for me is just gonna be brown, in all honesty. But there's so many beautiful cool tone grays and taupes out there, and I forget about them. And then every now and then I put them on and I go, why don't I wear these more? Anyway, one of the things we like to do on the channel, hi if you're new here, is we like to look at a palette and see if we can get multiple looks from the same palette, and is that going to be a good investment for us? Does it fit in with our lifestyle? So can we get a work look? Can we get an everyday, is that a spider on my wall? Can't tell what that is. Can we get an everyday, like just wearable fun look? Can we get date night looks? This is such a dark palette. This screams to me mostly date night. So that's that gray shade. Beautiful. 0 issues, 0 patchiness, 0 skipping, nothing like that. Just a beautiful color. And that might be one that I would wear to work, but probably not. All right, I'm gonna take this bronzy brown color over the top of that gray just on my lower lid. And it does have a mirror in this palette, which is nice. It's actually a completely adequate mirror. Taking that shade all over my lid, it has a very creamy consistency to it, and I think it is more of like a satin shade because I'm not getting a ton of shimmer or metallic or anything like that with it. It's applying just perfectly fine with a finger. I'm actually going to take a brush and go back into it, kind of smooth out that edge where finger was. Yeah, dark, smooth, smoky, moody. That's 2 shades. I honestly feel like I could do some black eyeliner and some mascara and be out the door. Talk about getting ready in a hurry for date night. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna take this purpley color right here on a little bit smaller of a brush, and I'm gonna take that the outer third to half, a little less than half of my eye. And I feel like I'm gonna lose the fact that it's kind of like this purpley burgundy wine color. We'll call it wine, just because the other shades are so dark. But I wanted to see what it would do over the top. And it gives, I feel like it gives those shades a little depth, a little unexpected depth. I'm gonna just blend the outsides. Yeah, these shadows practically blend themselves. And I'm gonna go back in with my finger into that second shade that we used and just kind of smooth it back over there too. Wow, I think that gave that a little richness to that gray. So I used Tabitha to begin with, and then I went into Melinda and then Petula. I feel like these are either muses or witches or goddesses of some kind. I'm gonna take Lavina, which is this teal blue, And I'm gonna take a little bit of this underneath my eye. Love that shade. I wanna do a look with just that dusty teal. Super pretty. And yes, I went really deep, really smoky with it because I wanna take the shimmery black here with the tip of this brush. I just flipped the brush over and I'm gonna try to smoke out just a little bit more just on the outer side. Wow, those shades are gorgeous. Super pretty. I know it looks like I've got a little bit punched in the eye here because these are all such dark shades. That's kind of the moodiness of it. I love it. I'm gonna take a clean brush, big fluffy clean brush, and kind of buff out that edge. There's one shade in this row that I haven't used yet, and that's the, so that was Ursula that I just did. The last one in here is called Willow. That's this one right here. You know what? Let's take a little of this. Wow, that's so rich. And this is gonna end up being just a slight halo eye because I'm going darker right there. Yeah, those are kind of fun. Okay, I need a lighter shade. I'm gonna take this handy dandy. I actually used this ColourPop Quad Day, but I haven't used the shimmer in it yet. Highlighter, and we're gonna put a little of that, right? It's all kinds of like grungy, delicious richness. Let's put a little mascara on and we'll see what the final look looks like. All right, you guys, I think my Dark Star mascara might be at this end here. Okay, so this is my dark, sultry, smoldering, slightly punk kind of goth look using this Martine palette, and I think it's super sexy. It's fun. It's very, very bold. And look how much different my eyes look with all this darkness and then nothing. So we need to fix that. But anyway, I used every shade in this middle row here. Very, very dark, moody. I love the way that burgundy looked on the outside and that teal blue down below. We've got some interesting shades down here. This shade right here goes from, let's see if I can get it to turn. It looks green in the viewfinder, but in person, I've got like a navy blue and a purple, a super, it's not gonna shift in the viewfinder for me. I don't know how to get it to shift colors for you guys. Yeah, it doesn't wanna shift colors, but when I look at it head on, I've got navy blue, I've got purple, and then I've got that green. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I've got kind of a lighter colored gray in here. So I'm feeling like, you know, we're already starting on the same foot as the other one. This is another duochrome right here. When I look at it, I see gold, I see bronze, and then I look in the mirror and it's burgundy. Wow, what a stunning shape-shifting color combination. These two seem to be just the color that they are. I've got like a sparkly gray and a sparkly violet color, we'll call it. And then I have a flat black matte, which I think will probably make a really great eyeliner. Let's give it a try. Let's see what we can come up here there. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a brush. We're gonna start with Hildegard, which is this kind of a mid-toned matte. Did I already tell you that I've got the Beauty Bay eye base on right now? I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but that's what I've got on my lids, both lids to start with. It's a very economical, solid, slightly opaque formula. Goes on very smooth, dries down nicely, and it's one that you can pick up at Beauty Bay because it's a Beauty Bay brand. It looks like this. If you're going to be on Beauty Bay picking up this Martine palette, then might as well pick up the eye base too. When I bought this palette, I bought a lip duo, a lip liner and a lipstick. I'm not wearing it right now, but I found that it's like the perfect lip duo for me. So you have that as an option too. Okay, I don't know what to do with these eyeshadows because they shift so differently. We're gonna do both of these because they're so different in the mirror than how they look in the pan. So I'm taking this one that looks burgundy right here, but it's coming across as very bronzy. You know what, I'm taking that all over the lid. Live life on the edge here. So this one is called Euphenia, which is similar but not the same as Elphaba. Isn't that her name? The gal, the green Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz. Or Wicked, if you're a Broadway fan. Okay, that, when I look at it in the mirror, I get more bronze than I get burgundy. I'm real curious as to how that looks in the viewfinder. It'll be real interesting to see what this looks like in editing. That's that shade. Now I'm gonna take this other one and just kind of layer it. So this is the one that looks green in the mirror and in the pan, and it's a navy purple shade. Oh, what? Wow, it's like mermaid scales or something. That's really beautiful. I might have gotten just entirely too muddy with layering those shimmers, but I think that's really, really stunning. Wow. Yeah, little muddy maybe. I probably should have just picked one and left it alone, but I love that gray. I'm gonna take the black in here. This almost looks like a black that you could mix with a little bit of mixing agent, like maybe a setting spray, and get something that you could use the liquid liner. I feel like one or both of these. There's another shade in here that's very similar called Mecrity. That's another like flat black. Did we need to? No, probably not. Smudging a little bit of this down here. And again, it's intentionally a bigger brush than I probably need because I wanted to get that dark, smoky, sultry kind of a vibe here going on. Okay, gonna take another little brush and we're gonna go into this violet colored sparkle over here, and that's gonna go underneath my lash line. I don't know there's a way to do this palette and not do smoky. That's a challenge for me. How do I do something that's not gonna be too smoky, too dark, too edgy? I don't even know if that's possible. Okay, there's only one shade, and I have to do some cleanup. There's only one shade in here that I didn't use, and that's this Cornelia right here, which is a shimmery gunmetal, we'll call it. Pure Duck, a bit of another shade right over the top of it. Wow, you know what? I'm gonna take a little bit more of this right against my lash, bump it into that black. Now, is this, or is either of these a look I would leave the house in? Because that's kind of one of the questions too. If you're not a makeup artist, can you get looks that you would leave the house in? These are very, very much edgy. They're probably too edgy for my lifestyle, but boy is it fun to play with. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of that ColourPop highlighter there right over the top of that. Let's throw on some mascara and do a little bit of cleanup, and we'll kind of take a look at the final results. Okay, you guys, back with this, another version of a smoky, rich, cool-toned, punk glam, rocker, heroin chic, aggressive, sultry, mistress of the darkness. I don't know what you would call this. How fun though. How fun is it to layer on all of those super dark, rich shades and see what we can come up with? I want to take these off and I want to do a Shelly approved look. Now that I know how saturated and how beautiful and how intense these colors are, I want to maybe pair it with something that I would use to leave the house. So give me one moment. Let me get this cleaned off and I'll come right back. Okay, you guys, I think I'm mostly cleaned up and ready to get into what I want to do. I want to do a couple more looks with those rows because I literally put on far too many shades than I would normally wear for any particular look. There are two shades in here that really jump out at me the most, and I think that you don't have to do an entire row of an eyeshadow look. I think you can do down a column too, and that gives you some interesting takes on classics. I've already done this green row and I absolutely adored it. I'll link the video down here, down below. This shade right here is your shape-shifting shade in this row. It goes from green to pink and it's just an absolutely beautiful shade. It's not unlike these other ones down here. I'm gonna call them trio chromes because I don't really know what they're supposed to be. I'm gonna go in actually with the one that's called Euphenia, this one right here, which looks bronze, gold, and pinky purple all together. And I'm gonna start by putting that all over my lid, which of course is gonna give me that smoky kind of look. But I think this shade is so complex on its own. We should not be muddying the equation by putting in other shades. I think we need to keep it exactly the way it is, and I'm gonna go pick up a little bit of it, make sure that I've got a good saturated base out here, and a little bit of it down below. Now obviously I just did what I said I wasn't gonna do, which is go too smoky, but I think I would start with that. Let me actually press this a little bit over here just to kind of just smudge it and shear out that edge. There are so many facets to this. The camera's not going to do it justice. I'm just going to be honest. The camera's not going to show you every color that I see in this, but I almost find that it's not too aggressive. It's just fascinating. Yeah. Now what I probably would do is take like the shimmer that's in this little palette here just on my finger, and I might use it to kind of lighten it up just a touch. Yeah, that's how it would wear that. Absolutely. Super simple, super fast. Nothing too crazy. I gotta do something with the same shade over here, this green. It's green here, but when I look at it, it's like a purpley navy blue. I'm gonna do roughly the same thing on this side because I think those are the most fascinating colors in here. And I'm building this up along my lash line, and then I'm just gonna kind of drag it up and crease. These two shades are some of the more interesting formulas I've seen in eyeshadow. Fascinating. The way these colors are shifting, I feel like I've got navy green purple that I've mixed together onto my eyes, and I feel like that gives it that look that I put in all this crazy amount of effort into it when I didn't at all. Wow, that's actually really pretty with brown eyes as well. Okay, I'm gonna grab my brush here. We're gonna go into this dark purple indigo shade over here. I'm gonna use that to smudge out a little bit. Those colors are very complementary to each other. And along my lower lash line, my eyelids have been a little watery because I've been putting on eyeshadow. Yeah, I'm getting it to stick now. Just gonna kind of smudge around the outside here. Yeah, I think that gave me kind of a super fun, almost daytime look, without being crazy. Interesting. Now, one more thing I would probably do would be to maybe I'll take this gray in here because it's the lightest gray in the palette. There's a couple greens too, but that one at the bottom has a little bit of a blue tinge to it. More definition, bring up that a little bit more. One last thing, I'm gonna grab the shimmer in here too, the highlighter in this palette. This is a ColourPop palette. It's my cheek combinations for today, and that lightens up a little bit without taking away too much of the undertone and the color on it. Super fun. Okay, let's put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I am back. I am super curious to see what these shades look like out in natural light. They don't look that different right now in the viewfinder, but I did use a couple different shades on this eye. This one's a little bit more of the green, blue, purple look, and this one's got a little bit more of like that burgundy bronze shimmer. Those shades are just absolute standout. I have to swatch the three that are the real special shades in here because I think those are the standouts. If you're buying this palette, you're probably getting it for those shades. Question is, are they too much like the Pat McGrath shades that people don't love? Okay, I'm gonna grab this one first. So this is the one that looks green in the pan, but looks green in the mirror, but when I look in the pan, it is pink. So that's that first shade. That's actually really lovely. I don't know if you guys can all see it. It almost looks like it picks up a little bit of orange. Like right there, you can kind of almost see a little bit of orange in it. It's one swipe of that. Let me grab the blue Medusa blue. It's blue right here. It's blue, indigo, green. Yeah, and swiping that, I get so much green, like a teal green. That's pretty. And then let's go into Euphenia, which is kind of like that bronzy shade. I'm gonna swatch it down here. And it is purple down here, but bronze in the pan. Wow, one swipe of each of those. Okay, because of the way these look, let me grab some corresponding shades here really fast. I'm gonna take for this greenish, bluish color, I'm gonna go into this teal right here. Let's see what that looks like bumped up next to it. Beautiful. Wow, that's a match made in heaven, isn't it? And then I want to take this shimmery purple down here. It's a little bit of a drier feeling than those special shades are. And we'll put it down here next to that. Wow, that made it shift so burgundy wine color, which makes me now want to go into this one right here. Wish they'd put these two together. 3. Wow. Okay, so that's a matte to go. There's those 3 right there. Super pretty. And I didn't put anything next to this greenish, goldish. It looks bronze in the pan. We're gonna take this green shimmer right here, and how do I want to do this? I didn't give myself enough real estate here. I'm gonna bump it up this way. Wow. Can I say wow anymore? All right, and then for fun, let's take Sabrina, which is this kind of olivey green, and we'll put it right next to that shimmer. Wow. Okay, the only one I didn't give a final pair to, or a final third to, is gonna be the purple green shade. Maybe just for fun, I'll grab this one right here because I barely used it. Pump it right here. Hold on. Oh wow, that's fun. I'm all swatched. I'm all like colorful and swatched. I hope this gave you guys some inspiration or some thoughts on this. We went way too dark, way too smoky, almost muddy to something that I feel like I could actually wear in daylight. Maybe more, still more on the daytime, or sorry, more on the date night or fun daytime, but still, in my opinion, completely wearable, appropriate for ladies of a certain age. I think this is a super fun palette. You know what it kind of reminds me of a little bit, but a little bit more wearable, is that mented, I think it's mented, no, melted Morte palette. Melt Cosmetics. That one that they re-released and came back out with and everybody are kind of going crazy over. This kind of reminds me of that, but actually way more wearable, and it's like better. It's like the new improved version of that. Anyway, you guys, I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope you guys enjoyed my little video. Again, coming back to the Martine palette. This is the 669 palette. And the way they do 669, it's like, let's see if this will focus here. If you look at this, it's like the 9. It's like the 9 was a 6 and fell down. Read what you want into it. I don't really know the backstory of it, but I love the promotional pictures. I thought were absolutely gorgeous. And this dark, moody, rich palette really drew my attention when I was shopping. It took me a while to convince myself I needed to buy it, and I'm so glad I do. I'm so glad I have it. Thank you guys for asking me to come back and give you some more looks. I hope this helped a little bit. Let me know if you ended up picking it up. If it interests you, or if you picked up any of the other Martine products. I get nothing in PR. I'm not sponsored, affiliate, endorsed. Beauty Bay doesn't know I'm doing this. Martine doesn't know I'm doing this. I'm just doing it for you guys. Feel free to stick around. I tend to upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Love comments, love feedback, love interaction with you guys. Follow me over on Instagram if you care to. And until my next video, bye for now.